What's up, big soccer heads? I'm Eric Krakauer, and this is Transfer Wire, the show where we use stocks to rate the latest transfer rumors. This week, we begin with a rising transfer stock that will almost certainly take a serious nosedive in the coming days, and that is the potential Neymar for Dybala trade. Now, in a complete vacuum, you could make the case that the trade makes sense for both clubs. As far as PSG is concerned, the club would finally part ways with a player who's essentially been agitating to leave pretty much since his arrival in the summer of 2017. And his eventual departure would mean his $41 million a year contract, which runs until the summer of 2022, would leave with him. In exchange, PSG would sign a player that has been a long-time transfer target, has a significantly lower public profile, and whose relatively high wages still pale in comparison to Neymar's. Juventus, on the other hand, would seriously be strengthening their Champions League title credentials with the Brazilian in the team. Paulo Dybala is a fantastic player and would be a welcomed addition to anywhere people kick a ball for money. However, Neymar is unquestionably on a different level, the kind of player who will always tilt the scales, and the promise of seeing him line up alongside Cristiano Ronaldo is nothing short of titillating in a football sense, of course. But don't get too excited about this deal actually materializing. For starters, Juve just self-imposed a new salary cap that will come into effect next season in response to the financial strain caused by the coronavirus. That cap maxes out at $185,000 US per week. Neymar's weekly salary falls just under $700,000. I've never been too good at math, but I think that's a big difference. And even if the old lady could afford Neymar's salary, we all know that the only stripes the Brazilian wants to wear are Barcelona's. A move to Turin would all but kill the chance of that ever happening again. One player who seems destined to put on the Blaugrana is Lautaro Martinez. A newly proposed three-way swap has that stock rising once again. According to Spanish publication Sport, the deal would see Nelson Semedo leave Barca for Manchester City. In return, the Premier League club would offload João Cancelo to Inter, which would land Lautaro in Catalonia. Given the players' respective market values, it's doubtful that it would be a straight swap. However, no details have been released about any additional payments. The good news for Barcelona in particular is that all three players have reportedly rubber-stamped the deal. Nelson Semedo is ready to jump ship for another club after very publicly being placed on the shop window, and the prospect of playing for Pep Guardiola is seen favorably by the Portuguese international. His compatriot Cancelo hasn't been able to assert himself at City since his arrival from Juve in the summer, and he's keen on a return to Inter, where he spent the 2017-2018 campaign on loan and where he would become a key player for Antonio Conte. Sticking with fullbacks and Barcelona, always Barcelona, stock is down on Argentine Nicolas Tagliafico joining Barca from Ajax after the man himself admitted that there was nothing concrete to those rumors. That despite the fact that he also added that the time has come to leave the Eredivisie for a more competitive league. Tagliafico's performances for both Ajax and Argentina have potential suitors buzzing. Reports had linked the player with a move to Barcelona as a replacement for Junior Firpo, who's looked out of his depth since signing from Betis. Atletico Madrid are also said to be interested in Tagliafico. The Colchoneros need to strengthen the position with Renan Lodi, currently the only left back on the roster. Tagliafico is not the only player Atleti have their eye on though. There had been some talk about interest in Real Madrid one-way James Rodriguez back in January. And if you're to believe Colombian journalist Javier Hernandez Bonet, the James to Atleti stock has unexpectedly skyrocketed. In an interview, Bonet claimed his compatriot is practically already 80% Colchonero. I'll believe it when I see it. Stock is also up on Lyon's Moussa Dembele packing his bags for Manchester United. A few days ago, the former Fulham and Celtic man had been dubiously linked with Barcelona, but now the Spanish press is convinced the French striker is on his way back to the Premier League. United have been in search of a proven goal scorer, with Harry Kane the most notable name linked to the club. Dembele has all the attributes to succeed in the Premier League, and at 23 could prove a shrewd bit of business and a big part of United's future. I'm just surprised his name isn't making the news more often. Finally, stock down on PSG luring Milan's Ismail Benacer and Lucas Paqueta to the French capital, as the offers for both players have been rejected by the Italian club. Still, reports are that PSG will increase their offers in order to secure both players. The Algerian AFCON champion has impressed at the San Siro since arriving from Empoli in the summer, while Paqueta has so far failed to live up to lofty expectations. That's what happens when you label someone the next Kaká, or the next anything, for that matter. Join the transfer discussion at beIN Sports USA on Twitter, and stay on top of the latest news by logging on to beInsports.com.